All right, shalom, shalom. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Giving double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect, and shalom to all the brothers out here laboring in this truth with sincerity. Shalom to the few sisters that watch. Just coming back with another lesson. Going into, the nature of the beast. We just going to get a definition of, the meaning of the nature of the beast, which pretty much sums up America and its system, the nature of the beast. So with that being said, we'll, let's see if we can go into it. It says the nature of the beast, something that is an essential part of the character of the person or thing that you're talking about. And let's see, it says the inherent or essential quality or character of something which cannot be changed. So the nature of the beast, which is America, the revival of the Roman Empire cannot change. And, basically, on a smaller level, the rulers all the way down to the wicked, which is so-called, which is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, So this man, he's what you call it, a microcosm of the whole beast system. This man cannot change. All he knows is grape, robbery, murder. That's all he does, man, and enjoys doing it. So we're just gonna get into a clip, and it's just gonna sum up the way this man thinks, man. They'll do anything to accomplish a mission, whether it's wicked or whatever. So we'll get into this clip.
So we would go and do these hits. Anybody that was a potential threat or issue, the Nigerians would take and cut their hands off on the side of the road. Typical our African stuff. They didn't take prisoners because they don't get paid like I talked about earlier. So we take our shit off at night. We go out and hang out with the rebels. And we start listening and working on an agreement of how we're going to stop these things. This little kid would be like, hey man, I know this guy is selling weapons down the street, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, like this is really starting to make people, because when you go up and knock on a door and say, hey, U.S. Marines, they'd be like, yes, come in. And they would fucking, here it is. And you're like, okay, that was easy, because they don't want you to hurt us. They don't want us to turn you over to the Nigerians or anybody else. So we're like, okay, well, what if we just start offering food and supplies and medical, being compassionate to these people? And then one night we're down there, this kid comes in, said,
see, they creeping in, using words smoother than butter, using the people to as bait, so to speak, throwing out, little trinkets of food and supplies and a little money here and there, and I think he's going to go on to say how much money. It might have been like $20 or something like that to turn over weapons. But at the same time, these people are risking their lives, to help them, man. But do they care about the people? No, they're just doing it to accomplish a mission. But the problem is, these Nigerians, and 9 times out of 10, a lot of them are Israelites, are trusting these people, But we'll get into that also, man. They don't understand that these people are their enemies. They're just looking at the little trinkets that they're getting, to so-called help them out. But you can't trust the devil, man.
Travis, I know where a place is. I said, all right, fuck it, let's go. And we walk up, same thing. I knock on the door. There's a guy sitting on a box in a little tiny room about the size of a large closet. A couple candles lit in the room. And he had a mattress on the floor right around the corner, which the kid told me that there was a couple RPGs and AKs in there. He goes, yes, I know who you are. I said, okay, can we talk? And he goes, no, you get out of my house. How dare you insult me? Dude, what the fuck, man? Hey, I'm going to talk to you and you're going to listen to me. I know you're selling weapons. I know you have them and I'm here to offer you a deal. I'm here to offer you help. The kid runs in, starts yelling at him saying, you listen to him. You listen to him. He'll help you. He'll help you. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. And I was like, look, dude, shut your mouth. Listen, I'm going to give you 20 American dollars to save your life. I'd go to give it to him and he slapped.
So the kid is trying to help him. You know, the kid comes in and start yelling at the guy to turn the weapons over. And you see this Edomite turns to the kid and just immediately start cussing him out, man. You know, turned on him, flipped on him that quick. Then he offers the man $20 US, you know, which is probably a decent amount, but not enough, you know, to, it doesn't add up. You know, you turning weapons over and they gonna give you $20. And the guy refused the money. Now, the guy that refused the money was in the right spirit because he didn't trust this devil, but the little kid did. And that's the problem. That's what's gonna come in. Let's see.
My hand away and I'm like, and he goes, $100 per AK-47. And I said, fuck you, get up, you're under arrest. I remember realizing was he's going to try to kill me. Gun's not going to work. He's going to relinquish control with his hand to take the safety off like an untrained person does on an AK. By the time he gets his hand back on the gun, that's going to be about 2 seconds. I know I can draw my 1911 in less than 1 second from concealment, smash this motherfucker right now, pin his...
And you see the nature of this devil, man. You know, the way he is thinking is the way an Edomite thinks, man. You know, kill first. You know, not de-escalate the situation, but kill first. You know, and this is just a small, like you say, a microcosm of the beast system, man. You know, they use their authority, their leverage to get what they want. And if you don't give them what they want, immediately they turn to violence, man. So let's continue on.
Okay, up against the wall, step into his chest and pull the trigger, and it goes into it. I grab the muzzle, I step up, put my foot into his chest, pin him into the corner, fire 2 shots, and step back. I'm holding the barrel, holding 1911. I hear this fucking scream that was like if you could murder a cow and the cow could scream. I don't know why that pops in my head. That's what I heard. And I almost shoot. What the fuck? Why did that just happen? Like, why did this kid come in that fucking room? Why was he so adamant about this tonight when he never does that? Like, what the fuck is going? Why did he mudsuck me into that situation? And I thought about it. And I sat there all night staring at that AK. The next morning, kids aren't there. Kids are always there every morning. They're out there sitting on the railing, ready to bust rust on our vehicles, ready to get food, they weren't there. So I jog down the hill, get into town. I see one of the kids walking around in town, one of the older kids, about 19 years old, I think. And I'm like, hey, what the fuck, guys? Where you at this morning? And he starts shaking his head and getting nervous, like I'm about to cry. But I need to see my boy. Where is he? I need to talk to him about something that happened last night. And he backs away and he goes, no, you'll never see him again. And I was like, why won't I see him again? And I'm trying to really figure out what the hell's going on here. And he goes, because last night you killed his father. And he turns around and runs away. And I'm like, so we would go and do these.
So we see this Edomite shows no emotion. You know, basically the little kid that brought him to the guns and to the guy, for the money, this Edomite kills him, which turns out to be the little kid's father. But we see this Edomite only cares about the mission at hand. You know, you just kill this kid's father, you know, over a couple weapons and $20, and you still don't show any emotion, you know. But that's America in a nutshell, you know. But let's get into some scriptures. You know, Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson. So let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 12. And we're going to drop down to verse 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Never trust. That's where the little kid messed up. You know, and the rest of those people in that village or whatever, they trusted their enemies, which were the U.S. Marines. Says, though he humbled himself coming in, you know, giving food and talking nice and giving $20 here and there. Says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. So, you know, that's what happens when you trust your enemy. and this is just speaking, this is speaking to the Israelites, basically going into, Esau, Edom, as we use it, as it's been brought out, by the apostles and elders. But, from apostle on down. But, this could be used for anybody, man. This is just wisdom. You never trust your enemy, man. In regular everyday life, whether it's two Jakes or, whoever, man. Whoever your enemy is, you never trust them, man. So let's go get this into GNT, and then we'll get a little background, on why this is said, as far as like, relating a mirror to rust. Because, when we think about a mirror, we think about glass. So we just, gonna get a little history on that. So it says, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 10, and this is the GNT. And it's saying, right here. It says, never trust an enemy. His wickedness is as destructive as rust. And we know rust, man. Once it gets on metal, if you don't take precaution, paint, sand the rust, it'll continue to spread and eventually destroy whatever is being rusted out. It says, watch out and be on guard against him. Even if he acts ever so humble, he is like a metal mirror that rusts away if you don't keep it polished. So you get the understanding of that, so I just wanted to know, the history of mirrors, because, when we think about mirrors, we think about glass. So this is just some website, I think that's selling mirrors or something, but it gives a brief history on mirrors. It says the history of mirrors starts in the 3rd century BC. Most ancient mirrors were made of metal and had a round shape. See, I didn't know that, even though I've been reading the scripture and understood, I didn't know the history of metal mirrors. It said most ancient mirrors were made of metal and had a round shape. It says the backside of the ancient mirrors was beautifully embellished with ornamentation. It says mirrors were made from highly polished bronze and silver. And the first glass mirrors were invented in the 1st century by Romans. So, man, history runs deep, man. It could be, you think it's something simple, but it all relates back to everything that we go against, man. The Egyptians, the Romans, man, it's amazing how everything is just, intertwined, so to speak. So that gives more clarity on the scripture for, people that's maybe new, not hearing, first time hearing it, not knowing, that just gives a brief history on something as simple as mirrors. So now, we'll just go to the book of Revelation and chapter 13. And get a little understanding on the nature of this devil and a little history on this devil. So where we gonna start at? Let's see. Salakia. Okay, we'll start right here. It says the beast from the earth. It says, and I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and had 2 horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. And when you go into the beast, it says another beast. That's the Roman Empire. If you jump back up where it goes into the beast, it says 2 heads like a lamb, but spake as a dragon. Right here it says, let's see where it says its deadly wound was healed. Right here it says, and I saw one of the heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And that goes into the Renaissance era, the Renaissance period, when these devils came back into power. It says, and all the world wondered after the beast. This devil took total control over the world. So now we'll drop back down, since we got an understanding of that. It says, I beheld another beast coming out of the earth. So this is going into, the second beast, another beast, which was the revival of the Roman Empire, as we know as America today. It says, and he had two horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon. So when you go into the ancient Roman Empire, you had like two parties, just like we have now, the Democrats and the Republicans. But back then you had the plebeians and the patricians, which goes into the same thing, and, you could take a look at that on your own if you want. But, America is the revival of the Roman Empire. As we see the structural landscape, buildings, you can look at the White House and compare it, the columns, the squareness of the buildings, man. Everything looks the same. So as it goes on, it says, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, which was the Roman Empire. It says, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And that goes back again to the Renaissance period, where this devil whitewashed all the not all, but most of the images, whitewashed the image of our Lord Yahweh Shai, the disciples, even Yahweh, so, that's what this is going into, so, and it goes down, eventually the MOT will be brought forth to see if you're ultimately going to worship this beast and put the beast before our Lord Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and ultimately if you take it, you're going to be destroyed. So, this devil is really trying to accomplish the mission of ruling not only the world, but the souls of men. So that's where we are, just giving an indication, the characteristics, so to speak, of who this devil is, and that Marine is just a part of it, man. That's Esau, Edom in a nutshell. So even when you go into it, I think it's the book of Psalms, chapter 73, it says, they are not in trouble as other men, roughly paraphrasing. So, they just go throughout the earth trying to accomplish their missions by any means, using guile, using their leverage, using their weapons, using their money, but that's just the nature of the beast. So, even, I pulled up proxy wars, and this is what this devil does, man. That's what was going on in that African village, man. Just using guile. It says proxy war, in political science, a proxy war is an armed conflict where at least one of the belligerents, is directed to support an external third party. It says a proxy war is a conflict fought by one or more major powers that do not themselves become directly involved. Well, those Marines were directly involved, but, on a smaller scale, man, they were just being deceitful, basically, It says these wars are characterized by the involvement of powerful nations to avoid direct military confrontation and orchestrate battles through surrogate forces. Hey, man, that's just this devil, man. You can't trust him at all, and we see the result, man. That little kid trusted the devil, trusted that devil, and ended up getting his father killed, man. So that's just, a brief, quick lesson, the nature of the beast, man. So we know ultimately this place is going to fall, and that's what we're looking forward to. So, Lord willing, this edifying. We want to constantly give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Shalom.